If you're thinking about moving to Deux-Montagnes, this video is for you because I'll be sharing the pros and cons of Deux-Montagnes. Deux-Montagnes is a city of 18,400. And by the way, if you have a project of buying or selling a home, whether it's Saint-Eustache, Deux-Montagnes, or any other area, my team and I were there to help. Just shoot us an email. We'll schedule a Zoom call or face-to-face meeting and we'll guide you from A to Z. The first thing people will say about Deux-Montagnes is the tranquility, the peace of mind. It's quiet, they feel safe, and that's the first thing that will come up when the citizens of the city are questioned about why they like Deux-Montagnes. They feel at peace. The second pro is nature, green spaces. There's bike trails, there's some trails to go walking, there's some parks, a lot of green spaces. They feel like they're connected with nature. And this is one of the things that will always come up. And when I look at the different places you can go relax in nature, you got the Boisé, Roger-le-Melin. It's a protected area. They got the wood area and you got a marsh. You got all sorts of wildlife and all sorts of plants and flowers. It's beautiful. And there's a bike trail that will connect to the regional bike trail, which is called La Route Verte. So it's really nice place to go just to be in nature. And you got all sorts of parks. And by the way, there's some parks that are beautiful because the city has invested money just to remodel those parks. Hermitage Park, for instance, used to be just a standard park. Now it's becoming a really nice park that's appealing for the whole family. Deux-Montagnes, of course, we'll talk about the proximity to water. The Lac de Deux-Montagnes. Beautiful views, picturesque views. You're on a boat, you go fishing, kayak, all sorts of aquatic sports. It's beautiful. It's really famous spot. Everybody likes to go there. So that's, I'd say, one of the really great pros of living there is just having this access, just fast access to this beautiful lake. The commuter train. Within Deux-Montagnes, you have the train, the commuter train, the suburban train that will get you straight to the central station of Montreal, which is really great because there's some people that will buy in Deux-Montagnes just because of that specific key point for them because they work downtown. They don't want to use their car and be stuck in traffic. So a lot of the buyers will buy in Deux-Montagnes specifically for this key feature of having this suburban train, which is called Le REM. Another good point is that you're really close to the Highway 640. Whether you live anywhere in Deux-Montagnes, you're just minutes away from the access to the highway to go work or to go see friends or to go to school. That's really a nice plus as well. And it's a bilingual city as well. You got some French school, some English school, which is really great because if your kids eventually want to go to an English university and school, well, they can go to high school in English. So French and English school, it's a bilingual community, just like might be Rosemere, which is not that far is. And it's one of the few communities on the North Shore that's really bilingual. Brand new real estate projects that are added every single year. So if you're interested in buying a place that's brand new, you got some choices. Now the infrastructure. I spoke to one of my clients and friends yesterday. I asked him, what do you like about the city of Deux-Montagnes? He said, well, Gabe, I like the infrastructure. There's some sports infrastructure, all sorts of places where you can play soccer, hockey. You know, we're well equipped with my kids and I. Other than that, we have a few medical clinics. And if we need to go to a hospital, we have Saint-Eustache next door. But the infrastructure themselves are well kept, they're remodeled. I was dropping my kids at the school, well, the backyard has been remodeled. Stopping by on the weekends to a park, it's been remodeled. I can see the money, the tax money going to some new infrastructure, some remodeling, and I enjoy that because I can see it as a citizen that they're using the money at the right place. In terms of real estate, it's really affordable, even cheaper than Saint-Eustache, and I have the numbers to prove that. I looked at the numbers from January to July of 2024. A bungalow, the median price would be $429,500, and a two-story cottage house, $479,000, which is cheaper compared to Laval in Montreal, and even cheaper than Saint-Eustache. Of course, if you're buying a brand new home, you're gonna pay a premium, but generally speaking, cheaper. Now the cons. The first cons are the taxes. Citizens will think that they're relatively high compared to other cities. And one thing that's been pointing is the fact that we see some jumps, significant jumps from one year to the next. Oh, it increases this much. Oh, that's high. Next year, this much. So this is one of the points that is not that appealing about the city. But there's one thing that the city is working on, and that's been on the citizens' mind as well. Why don't the city try to attract more businesses to establish themselves within the limits of Deux-Montagnes, to increase the revenue sources, to diversify the revenue source of their tax revenues? That way, it would put less pressure on the increase of taxes. So this would stabilize the finances of the city, of course. Another con is the range of shops, of stores is fairly limited. Obviously, every single person that lives in Deux-Montagnes wants to have more access to more choices when they're shopping, of course. But like I said, more stores would mean more revenues for the city, and this would bring the pressure down on the increase of taxes that they're paying. Service offering is less comprehensive. There's less variety of services. To give you an idea, there's not an indoor pool. So some citizens will say, hey, well, we don't have a place to go swim during winter time. But the good news is they have this partnership with Saint-Eustache, just like the citizens of Boisbriand. They can have access to the aquatic complex of Saint-Eustache. They pay a fee and they have access, so they're sharing their facility. But they all have one on the limits of Deux-Montagnes. And in terms of the medical services and facilities, there's some clinics, of course, but generally speaking, there's a slight shortage of medical resources. In terms of higher education, well, you got some elementary school and high school, but if you have post-high school schools, well, you'll need to go to some other cities, maybe Laval or Montreal. Traffic and commute time, well, you're further away from Saint-Eustache, and Saint-Eustache, if you live in Saint-Eustache, it's quite some time to go to downtown. If you live in Deux-Montagnes, which is further away west, of course, you got the Deux-Montagnes train, which is gonna make the commute time just slightly shorter, but still, be patient in the morning, at night when you go to school or work. There's some limited entertainment option. It's perfect for the family, but if you wanna have a drink, go out with your friends. Well, there's not many options. You live there, you sleep there, but when it comes to having fun, adults, well, you might have to go to Saint-Eustache or maybe just Boisbriand, Laval, or Montreal. I've asked my clients yesterday, I said, Gabe, my kids are happy, but when I have to go out, have fun, I need to take my car, drive maybe 20, 30, 40 minutes away just to see some action. In Deux-Montagnes, there's limited job opportunities. Of course, it's a small town. If you have a high-paying job, you'll need to go to Laval, Montreal, or all the other cities. There's some job opportunities in the retail side, but other than that, there's not much to do within the city in terms of the job market. The last one that comes to my mind, the flooding. Well, you're close to the lake, but it comes with the fact that you can have some flooding zone. A couple of years back, hundreds of houses were flooded. It was in the news. And since then, the city has invested a lot of money to build this wall, this dike, really high dike of like 25 meters. But still, you never know what could happen. If the water's there, you're okay. What if it rains for a week? You never know. We had some rain in the last few weeks back. All the houses in Laval, like hundreds, maybe thousands, were flooded because of this that much rain. So you never know. So the people that live close to the water always have this sort of insecurity. You never know what could happen if there's some storm, it rains, anything could happen. So for now, they're safe, but you never know. That's sort of a stress they always have, flooding possibilities. If you have a project of buying or selling property in Deux-Montagnes or any other city, shoot us an email, call us, we'll schedule a face-to-face meeting or a Zoom call, and we'll guide you from A to Z, because our goal is to make your life really easy in terms of the real estate projects you might have. Take care in the meantime. If you like this kinds of videos, stick around because I got more coming up.